Hi, it's Kevin May, the Editor-in-Chief of PhocusWire Studio with our friends at Pros. Al Tredinnick, thank you very much. You're the Head of Business Development 15 Below. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
15 Below's been around for 2 decades now, nearly 2 decades.
Yep.
What would you say has probably been the biggest change with what you kind of do? Just to give us a basic overview of kind of what you do and what has changed that much.
We specialise in passenger communications to airlines and that kind of thing, particularly in disruption. And I think actually a lot of the basics of disruption are probably the same as they were 20 years ago. It's still the need to communicate.
Sadly, they still are, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's still going on. It's got more of a focus in the industry now, though, and people are, it's definitely a hot topic. People have realised that there's only so far you can go on price, you've got to go on service, and actually if you handle disruption well, it's quite a good way of building loyalty and that kind of thing.
Why would you say it's become more of an issue for them, or something that they want to concentrate on? Because in theory, they should have been concentrating on this.
Yeah.
Forever,
and some of them have. I mean, Ryanair started this 20 years ago with us. Do you know what I mean? And they've still been doing it since. So, I think people are just realising it is quite a big cost, and it's an unpredictable cost.
Yeah.
I think disruption is happening all the time, but ultimately, I think it's also got a lot to do with social media and that kind of thing. Because everyone is so public now when they're unhappy about something. When it goes wrong, they can broadcast it to the world. So everyone has to focus on fixing it, making them, less grumpy about it.
I was going to come back to that. You've been preempting my questions here,
sorry.
but no, it's fine. So we talked about what's been the biggest change. What would you say has been the biggest challenge for you guys, not your customers? Is it a tech challenge? Is it just getting more customers, or what is it exactly?
It's not. I mean, it's all fairly straightforward from our point of view. It's been interesting recently trying to stay on top of the new channels. So, we've always done email and SMS and app push and automated voice. Now, though, we're looking at Facebook Messenger. Well, we do Facebook Messenger for Qantas, and we're looking at WhatsApp. But there seems to be airlines really like the idea of using things like WhatsApp, but actually WhatsApp is really hard to use for an airline. They get charged loads of money for it. It's quite punitive. It's more expensive than sending a text message, which when you think everyone can get a text message, not everyone gets a WhatsApp message.
So it's a shiny new thing, but perhaps not a cost-efficient shiny new thing.
I mean, there are new channels coming out like RCS, which is a new form of SMS.
Okay.
And it works like WhatsApp, but it's ubiquitous to all the phones. So Google have just backed it, so I'd expect to see that hitting the market relatively soon. It's quite cool. It's like text messages, but you can have carousels and buying paths and all sorts of things in there.
Well, I've learned something today. That's great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We've got a white paper if you're interested.
We can put a link to it on the story later on. So, you referenced social media. I mean, how kind of reactive are airlines to that? Yes, from a PR perspective they are, but from a kind of a disruption management element, because you say, as soon as you're at Stansted and your flight's cancelled, straight on Twitter, I'm so angry, I'm at Stansted, it's cancelled again.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing, actually. I mean, although these things can be a bit of a PR nightmare, actually, what we're always saying to the airlines is as long as you've got nice kind of personalised communication going out to the actual passengers, they should be the last people that are out there complaining. I mean, it's one thing for people going, oh my God, there's another drone strike, whatever, drone issue, but the passengers, as long as you deal with them directly, they shouldn't be complaining to anyone because you've already talked to them. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
they shouldn't be going, "What's going on?" You should, most people should have told them. So, I think there's two sort of angles to that. One is the kind of public perception of disruption, and the other one is the actual customer service. Because most of the time, the airlines have got it relatively down pat these days. So a lot of our customers have anyway. So
we would hope they would, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, you've just signed. I spoke to your new partners, OpenJaw, earlier on in this week, and they were talking to us about that. I mean, just generally, what's your kind of, perhaps not with your 15 below hat on, but just generally, what's your kind of point of view on airlines becoming retailers and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think why not? It'd be nice if they could make some money at some point. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And the retailers, that's how they're going to do it, selling ancillaries and upselling and cross-selling, because they don't make any money at all flying people places, do they? So
okay.
I think that's a good idea. Why not?
Okay.
Also,
would your airline customers agree with you, do you think?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you think airlines only make about, $3.70 or something on average, but you can do $45 on ancillaries, so
yeah,
why wouldn't you? I mean, they're still going to stick to what they're good at, though, I think. It's not... You still want to fly people places and then sell them things that are associated with it. I think it could get crazy otherwise, do you know what I mean?
Okay. Universal P&R is a phrase that's been talked about for a long time, but it's kind of now morphed into one order, which is the IATA back thing. What's your kind of point of view on that? Would that make your life easier, or and how do you kind of take a view on it?
Yeah, I mean, any time the industry wants to sort of update its APIs and, data structures and that kind of thing, obviously it makes life easier. There's more information in there. I think the thing about the super P&Rs and everything else that isn't really addressed most of the time is that those P&Rs still probably won't have contact details in them.
Right.
So only about 50% of contact details for the passengers go into bookings. So as a result, all of the other initiatives you hear are only going to be 50% effective because you can't tell the customer about it. And it's because travel agents don't put if you book through a travel agent, they put their contact details in because they don't want the airline to steal the relationship with you.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, we spend a lot of time talking about contactability tactics and things like that because, it doesn't matter if you know everything about that customer. If you can't tell them anything, it's kind of redundant, isn't it?
Okay. But you work with TMCs. I think CWT is one of yours, isn't
Yep.
it? Yeah.
Flight Centre, yeah.
So in that sense, are they a little bit more communicative with their airlines because of what you do with the kind of disruption management? How does that work?
I think people are coming to terms with the idea because, the passenger owns the passenger. It's not, no one else does, and they have the right to be told about things. But it's, we're not really seeing that many travel companies and airlines working in partnership with that kind of thing. They're still pulling against each other, which doesn't really do anyone any favours, I don't think. So.
Okay. Is that going to change over time, do you think, then?
I think so. IATA have just tightened up the regulations on it, and they do seem to have involved the so 830D's just been strengthened up, and they've seemed to involve more of the travel companies now. So we'll see how that goes. But ultimately, we're still going to be trying to pull in loads of data sources and using loyalty numbers and all that kind of stuff to try and get around it. But it's something that I think people should talk about more because, we are. If every initiative you've heard to date is only going to be 50% effective, that kind of undermines a lot of the hard work.
Those initiatives would probably never get off the ground if people realise that that's the only half effective, as you say.
If you think like one identity and things like that, where you're going to be biometrically capable of walking through doors without having any passport, if you can't tell someone to go and register that, then it's not going to work, is it?
Right.
You're still going to have both systems running the whole time. So
yeah,
I actually think the only way to do it is to educate the public about the fact that people aren't sharing their contact details and they probably want them to. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes.
And then there's a trust issue involved with the public then, is there?
Or
do you think we've kind of over that a little bit?
I mean, let's face it, GDPR would have made sense if they'd have done it 10 years ago, but now it's just the wrong thing late, you know what I mean? So, and actually it doesn't apply to any of the stuff we do necessarily, because we're not a marketing company, so it's, for operational things, you're never going to complain that I told you your flight was cancelled and you don't have to go to the airport until tomorrow, do you know what I mean?
Right.
You're not going to go, oh, you've stolen my contact details, why did you do that? It's not, people just got to relax about that. Our passengers are never going to complain about being kept up to date.
Okay, Tredinnick, thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Nice, thanks very much.